Hello, everyone, and of course, welcome back to another episode of X Talking Ish with your boy X.
Hey, boy, Ish.
You already know what to do. If you are on Facebook, please make sure you like and share this broadcast. And as well, if you are on Facebook, please make sure you like our Facebook page, X Talking Ish. If you are on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. And for shows in the future, go ahead and hit that notification bell.
Ding.
Thank you very much for that, Ish. And
Yeah,
if
bro.
you are on Twitter, go ahead and follow our Twitter page, X Talking Ish. You can check out our stream on Periscope on X Talking Ish. So please go ahead and check us out on there as well. All right, Ish. You already know what time it is. It is week 4. Ish, I don't know about you, but this is the week I've been waiting for since the schedule finally came out. I am excited. And one of the first games that we're going to start off with is one of those games that you probably look at and say, I'm not worried about that game, but you might need to be worried about this game. The Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys ish. I think this game is going to be a lot better than people are expecting. Tell them how you feel about the rundown of this game, sir.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good game. You got two really good teams. You got the number one defense in total yards, number two in points against the Cowboys offense that actually has been looking really good. There were some concerns, I think, early on whether or not Dak was going to be able to hit the ground running, come back, but he has really performed well. Looks like comeback player of the season of the year so far, and this receiving core has continued to look really good. The run game is still kind of hit or miss, but uh, this defense still looks really. I mean, this offense still looks really good. So I definitely expect it to be a good game. I just think that the Cowboys' offense is going to really challenge this Carolina defense that I don't feel like has had a real tough test yet. I mean, they had the Jets, then they had the Saints, and then they had the Texans. I mean, the Saints the only team there that you could say has somewhat of some kind of offense, but really that offense has struggled early in the year. So this is going to be the first real test for them, and I think you're going to see that today, and that's why the Cowboys will win.
Now, let's remind everyone, of course, if you haven't checked out the NFL this season, the Panthers at the moment, after 3 weeks, are still undefeated. They are one of 5 teams in the NFL that is still undefeated. So, like you said, Ish, this is going to be a very interesting test for this team. And also, not just for the Panthers, I feel like as well on the other side of the football, for the Dallas Cowboys as well. Like you said, number one defense in the league, the Carolina Panthers do have. It's going to be a very interesting test to see for the Cowboys offense if they are for real, which we think that they are, and to see if the Carolina's defense, if they are for real as they are. Are they only going to give up 175 yards on for the offense, for the day, or will they give up 400 yards due to Dak in that offense? That's going to be the interesting story to watch out for this game. Because with it being a home game for Dallas, I feel like if it is a tight game, I think Dallas can pull this off. I think this is a new look Dallas Cowboys team compared to just a couple years ago, where if it was a tight game, no matter if it was a home or away game, they would probably give this game up. But that's the reason why I'm picking this Cowboys team to beat the Panthers for this game, week 4, is I think everything is rolling correctly for the Cowboys. They played very, very good last week. And I think with the emergence of the defense, which they really needed more than anything compared to the offense, I think that is what's going to be put on display for today, especially with the Panthers missing Christian McCaffrey. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our other Texas team in the NFL, the Houston Texans versus the Buffalo Bills. And Ish, I see you look very excited for this game, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you start off with this one.
No,
It's like
I'm not excited. I don't want to watch this
you look
game.
very
I
excited
hate
though.
that. I hate that we're stuck having to watch this game because we can't choose something else. The NFL needs to fix that. Please do something about that. I don't want to have to watch the Texans play, especially against the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be a slaughter. Tyrod Taylor needs to come back as soon as possible. For them to look anything close to what they looked like earlier in the year. Game one, So after that,
No, no. Well, let's remind the people out there. Last week it was Tyrod Taylor's um, was reunion with the Cleveland Browns. This is now again another team that he's facing against that he was prior on. Unfortunately, he won't be able to play. It would be a great story for Tyrod Taylor. He was able to play at the moment. Unfortunately, Davis Mills will be the starting quarterback, but it's just an unfortunate situation that the Texans are in at the moment. I'll be honest with you. After 3 weeks, they're playing a lot better than I thought they would. I thought they would play with no energy. I thought it would be 0-3 at the moment, to be completely honest. But shout out to the Houston Texans for going out there, putting forth an effort, because some of these games that they've been in have been very close-ish. It hasn't like they've been blown out, and I think they keep it close with the Buffalo Bills being away. I think they win. I think they lose this game by possession. I don't think they get blown out. Well, who knows? Let me take that back. You know what? The Bills did
they're
blow out
gonna
the,
get
the
blown out.
Dolphins. Yeah, the
They're
Bills
gonna
did
get
blow out
blown
the
out.
Dolphins, and the Dolphins are a better team. Yeah, yeah. Never mind. I'm gonna go ahead and change my pick. There's gonna be 2 touchdowns. There's gonna be 2 touchdowns. The Bills. I'm sorry. The Bills gonna take care of the Texans by at least 14 points. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to just go ahead and move on?
Yeah, I would like to move on. I don't even want to
Oh,
talk about them anymore.
all right, all right. Let's go ahead and move on to a better game on the Sunday slate. And of course, to remind everybody, just let y'all know the back half of the NFL slate are the better games. The front half is kind of
Yeah, it's all
lackadaisical.
right.
But this is one of the games that's, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Ish. I feel bad for the Eagles. I'm gonna start this one off because the Chiefs, we saw what happened last week, kind of had a let me down game. I look at it as a let down game, and the unfortunate thing about a letdown game is that the next team that they play is going to have to get this work. And the unfortunate problem with that is that the Eagles are in the way of the Chiefs. And the Eagles, let's be real, they are who we thought they were. The only people that's supporting, or the only people that believe, I should say, believe in the Eagles when it comes to just winning the division are Eagle fans. No one outside of Philadelphia believes that the Eagles are going to win the division or even be in the playoff race. Okay, so with that being said, we all know that the Chiefs are going to be there at the end of the season, and I feel like this game kind of has to be that game to get you back on track. I'm not saying it's week 12, week 13, where it's like, oh, this is the game you got to win to get your team back into right direction before going to the playoffs. No, I'm just saying this is a game where things look a lot better being 2-2 than they are being 1-3 ish. Okay, so if I'm a Chiefs player, if I'm a Chiefs supporter, if I'm a Chiefs, again, a Chiefs fan, I want everybody going into this game with their hairs on fire, wanting to go out there and show everybody what Chiefs football is about. Because if you do go into Philadelphia and lose this game, oh, ho, 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 Monday morning. Besides everything being talked about, of course, about Brady returning to Foxborough, it would definitely be about the Chiefs losing to the Philadelphia Eagles ish.
Um, so I obviously have the Chiefs winning this game because I do think it's a bounce back game. I think that the Chiefs, they should respond. If you're the team that everybody thought you were, this is the kind of game that you respond to what happened last week, right? And respond to starting off 1-2. However, I just want to provide this caution to everyone out there that's writing off this Eagles team. This Eagles team, they do have the seventh ranked defense in the league, 10th points against. The defense is a solid defense. The problem they've had is they can't sustain drives on the offense, which makes that defense have to come out, not get a lot of rest. Definitely against the Chiefs, if they can sustain drives, if they can find a way to sustain drives, if Jalen Hurts can find a way to keep his offense on the field, grind out some drives, this game could be a lot closer than people think, and the Eagles could win this game, especially with there's a lot going on. Like Christine pointed out, Shady's retiring in Philly.
I'm gonna bring it up.
Andy
I'm gonna bring it
Reid
up.
coming back to Philadelphia. That's always a fun loving story there.
I'm happy you brought that up because I was gonna bring it up after you get done talking. But
Yeah,
continue,
so I
sir.
mean, there's a lot going on in this game that there's some distractions that could cost the Chiefs this game. Ultimately, I expect them to be professional, be the team that everybody thought they were, and just win this game. But we'll have to wait and see. Just be careful, Chiefs fans, because the Eagles could sneak one out here.
Now, let's remind everybody, of course, like Christine said, Shady is retiring here today. Shout out to Shady McCoy. Shout out to Lucas. He says rooting for the Eagles, a couple of hometown heroes on the team. One thing about Shady McCoy is unfortunate that he doesn't really get the recognition for being the running back that he was in that 2010s era. Just to remind everybody, he also, of course, was named running back for that All Decades team. So when people do talk about LaShawn McCoy, unfortunately, I just don't feel like he gets his just due because he definitely should. Let's be real, he should be in the Eagles Ring of Honor. Hall of Fame, we just don't know yet. He probably might be on the outside looking in. We have to wait and see how the numbers look and all that good stuff when it comes to comparison on how the Hall of Fame does their judging. But one thing about Shady, you always going to remember, if he does go into Canton, you got to go ahead and give him a bust where he holding that ball like a loaf of bread because that boy, I'll tell you, hey, I never seen a football player that is allowed to get away with holding the ball like that unless you're Michael Vick. You feel me, Ish? Because there's no way hell if we was able to hold that ball, we would be on the sideline real quick, Ish. And also another tidbit, like Christine says, yes, the Eagles franchise leading rushing leader. So that is that is something to hang your hat on if you are a Shady McCoy. Another tidbit as well, like you said, Ish. Andy Reid's making his journey back to Philadelphia. He is also the Philadelphia Eagles leader in coaching wins for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I agree with both of you. Look, there are going to be a lot of distractions going on. There are going to be some things. But let's be real. The Eagles not winning this game. Okay, y'all gonna stop with this. Look. Okay, look. I'll say this. Ish, if you feel so confident in Eagles, do like you did last week. Go ahead and make the chant. Go, because you picked the Eagles to beat the 49ers last week. And if you for your right mind think that the Eagles
should have beat the 49ers.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
They were in that game the whole time. Again,
it don't matter.
The offense. Okay. As soon as they can find,
I'm gonna sit back and listen.
As soon as they can find something on offense, the Eagles actually are a lot closer than people think. I am a lot higher on the Eagles than a lot of people are around the league. A lot of people, I think they just need to figure something out on the offensive side, sustain some drives, and really the momentum is there. They are playing well on defense. Like I said, they are the 7th ranked defense in the league. Like, this team is actually a decent team. The offense is kind of middle of the road. They actually are exactly middle of the road, ranked 16th. But the problem that they have is they're 23rd in points forward. So they're way at the bottom of the league as far as scoring points. If they can score points, like I said, sustain the drives, get some points on the board, then they will win games. But they just cannot find, for the life of me, they cannot find points. And that is what is hurting them. This team is a lot closer than people think. If this offense finds a way to get some of these weapons involved and get them the ball and break some plays out, trust me, sooner rather than later, we'll be talking about the Eagles actually competing with the Cowboys for the NFC East. But as of right now, it's Cowboys division and nobody else.
The only way they're going to be competing for a division title against the Cowboys is when they trade for Deshaun Watson. All righty, then let's go ahead and move on to the next topic at hand. Christine also says the only problem with the O-line the only problem is the O-line is injured like crazy already. Welcome to the NFL. You'll be all right. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the Giants versus the Saints. Let's be real, this is probably one of those
Nobody
type
cares.
of games. But I will say this, though. Since you want to talk very highly about the Eagles, I'll say something about the Giants. I don't expect them to win this game. But I do expect them to keep it closer than people expect them to keep it. And
the team that lost to the Falcons?
Hey, that was an ugly /win and loss on both sides of the ball. That was ugly on both sides. But I'm just saying, again, this is an NFL team. They have talent on both sides of the ball. This is not a run over team. Okay? the Giants will keep it closer than people expect. I just feel like with the Saints coming back to New Orleans, playing their first game at home, of course, because of Hurricane Ida being on the road for the last 4+ weeks, it will help, of course, galvanize the team to make sure that they win this game for the city of New Orleans. That's why I feel like the Saints, of course, will win this game. But overall, I'm just being honest, man. Look, both of these teams, the Giants and let's go back to the Eagles, are a quarterback away. I feel like I like Jalen Hurts, but I just don't feel like the Eagles like Jalen Hurts as much as the Eagles as a player wise and maybe fan wise like Jalen Hurts. Okay, with that being said, both of these teams, the Giants and the Eagles, need to move on from these quarterbacks.
Danny Dimes is not the issue in New York.
Okay.
There are so many other. I
didn't say that there was. I didn't say that there wasn't more issues. I'm just saying you gonna stop calling Daniel Jones Danny Dimes. The first thing y'all gonna do. Because that's why the media gonna corrupt you and make this.
Danny dropping those dimes.
See the media corrupting your mind and brainwashing you.
Looking like Saquon Barkley is supposed to look like is not the problem. That offensive line is the problem. They can't seem to keep their skill positions on the field.
Everybody's offensive line is the problem. Apparently.
I mean,
here we go.
There are so many other issues rather than Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes may end up being like Sam Darnold, where he gets a move away from the Giants, and all of a sudden people are like, "Whoa, this guy actually can play," because Danny Dimes actually has been balling out. But when you got Kenny Galladay limited, when you got Sterling Shepard not participating in practice, Darius Slayton not participating in practice, Saquon Barkley limited in practice, I mean, come on. What do you want somebody to do?
In the words of Allen Iverson, practice?
Right.
Practice? Not a game. Not a game is where they show up and they show out. You talking about practice, though?
Okay.
Practice?
Yeah, these people can't even play.
You worry about them?
They can't.
If you were that damn good of a quarterback, Daniel Jones, you'll be out there slanging that thing, no matter who out there on the sides, and putting it right there in between the numbers.
I'm I want to bring up your boy. I want to bring up your boy that you were so high on at the beginning of the season. I noticed you haven't said anything about him in this game, and
you want to know why?
He's only leading the second to last offense in the league. So,
first of all, we're in the beginning of this. I tell everybody all the time, I don't take the NFL serious until week 6. We are week 4 right now, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
When week 6 get here,
he's still second to last in offense, total yards.
So what you're saying is all you can go is from here. All you can go is up.
And that's with Alvin. That's with Alvin Kamara as your running back.
And guess what? That's on the coaches on calling better plays.
Oh,
that's not on Jameis.
Oh, okay.
But continue, sir.
All right, you gonna hate on Danny Dimes, but then you got
ain't no hate when the truth is what it is.
He's leading with far inferior pieces. He has the 18th ranked offense, whereas Jameis has way better pieces. And he has the second. You talking about the same running back that's compared to Barry Sanders? You talking about two better wide receivers? The Giants have better wide receivers than the Saints do. Michael Thomas not even playing for the Saints right now at the moment. When Michael Thomas come back, we're gonna see how that Saints offense looks. I don't disagree that when healthy, the Giants have a better wide receiving.
Okay, so what are we talking about then?
Currently, however, you still have Alvin Kamara as your running back there in New Orleans, which opens up so many more things than Danny Jones has with a limited Saquon Barkley. Let's be honest, he hasn't.
First of all, Saquon he's not limited. If he was ready for week 1 like he was, he's ready to go.
Here we go. Can we move on from this?
We can definitely move on. I'm just
win this game, but I mean, you're gonna have to start putting some respect on Danny Dimes' name.
Okay, when Daniel Jones is out here putting more respect on his name, then I'll put more respect on Danny half penny, half wooden nickel. Okay, y'all gonna stop that out there and social media world trying to hype up somebody that deserves no hype. Stop that. Anyway, Christine says if you can't feed Saquon, then you have more problems than the quarterback. Look, first of all, again, that goes back on coaching. Daniel Jones nor Jameis has the authority to call their own plays.
Oh, here we go.
Am I wrong?
Just move on.
All right,
just move on.
You move on all you want to. Y'all know, everybody knows watching the damn show right now know that I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Next game at hand, the Browns and the Vikings. And with this game, Ish, I'm going to let you go first. But I'm loving this matchup, and I'm gonna keep my eye on this one. I like this game. Ish, go ahead and go.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a good matchup. I think it's going to be a really good game. This is going to be a telling game for both teams. If the Browns do pull out the win, as I expect them to pull out the win, then it's just a statement of, yeah, they are actually a team that's ready to compete come playoff time, and they're going to be real when it comes to being in the hunt. If they find a way to lose this game to the Vikings, which it won't be a big, like, it won't be a disastrous loss, but it will be telling from the standpoint of you're just not quite there yet. Like, you haven't made that leap up into the top tier echelon with, well, you would say the Chiefs normally, but with the Bills, right now, I'm going to say with the Bills, possibly the Titans. The Titans are kind of limited at the moment. But right now, I would say the Bills are leading the way, and you would expect the Browns to be up there in that conversation. But a loss to the Vikings kind of hurts that narrative. And for the Vikings, if they do win this game, you got to start taking the Vikings a little more seriously. We're going to have to, because they have played really well. They just haven't been able to put the record together. They're 1-2, but that's with Kirk Cousins playing really well. With
No
the defense,
turnovers.
yeah, and the defense not doing too well. It's really what's kind of been hurting them. But then you had the response last week against Seattle, and if they continue in that momentum, then the Packers are going to have to start, maybe taking them a little bit more seriously. But this is going to be a telling game. I'm excited for it. I want to see what happens. Ultimately, though, the Browns should win this one with the two-headed monster they have in the backfield.
Now, let's be real, Ish. And like you said about the Browns, they came into the season with a lot of talent, a lot of expectations, a lot of people expecting them to take that next step.
Yep.
AFC Championship or bust type shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just it is what it is. And let's be real, Ish. A lot of us coming into the season, we didn't know what we were going to get from the Vikings. Just mainly because of Kirk Cousins. If we get some, you're like, okay, whatever. If we don't get any, we're like, we expected that. But from the first 3 weeks of the season, like we talked about on last week's show of the recap, I'm very impressed with Kirk Cousins at the moment. I was going to pick the Vikings because of Kirk Cousins alone. But like you said in the beginning statements of your for this topic, Ish, this game is very telling for both teams. If Kirk Cousins go out there and sling that thing against a very good Browns defense, that's something I'm going to have to definitely take note of moving forward to the rest of the season, because this Vikings team can play with anybody. It's just, can you finish? That's their problem. That's the reason why they're 1-2 at the moment. And like we talked about with teams prior to this topic, it's a lot better looking towards the rest of the season being 2-2 than it is being 1-3. But with this team, the Minnesota Vikings, the last couple of years, for some reason they play better when they are, counted out. When they start the season 1-3 or 2-4, they find a way through the depths and find a way to make it competitive and either make a wild card spot, right? Because they know they don't usually win the division because of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. But they find a way to make the playoffs. But they just make it hard on themselves. They if they win games like they probably should have, like we talk about good teams winning the games that they're supposed to win, they probably wouldn't be in those situations. I picked the Browns because it is the safe bet. But if the Vikings win this game, I honestly would not be surprised, Ish.
Not at all.
But with the thing with the Browns, they have to win this game if we want to look at them as being the Browns that's going to contend for the AFC against the Bills, the Browns. I'm sorry, not the Browns. The Bills and the Chiefs, and maybe even the Tennessee Titans and even the Ravens. That's what we have to see from the Browns this game, and that's why I'm excited for this game. Like I said, sleeper games ish. Got a lot of sleeper games, and that's one of them. And this is another one as well too. Definitely not sexy. Not a sexy game. Lions Bears. But the reason why we're going to talk about this is because, and I'm going to start this off first because I have a lot to say about Mr. Nagy. I'm going to be very, very short and sweet. I promise you it
He
is.
should be gone. That's all that needs to be said.
Like I said on last week's show, I was wrong about Matt Nagy. I felt like he deserved at least the rest of the year. He deserves to help out with the development of Justin Fields or this offense. Again, I was wrong. The way he has mishandled this quarterback one position this week alone, just this week alone, and now have started. I'm sorry. Now have stated that Justin Fields is now the starter for this game against the Lions. I'm letting you know right now, letting everybody know right now. If Justin Fields gets hurt in this game, if something happens to just Justin Fields in this organization, Matt Nagy will be gone tomorrow morning. We will come back on this show on Tuesday night on our recap show, and I'll tell you I told y'all so. Because I don't know what Matt Nagy has against Justin Fields. Because what happened last week against the Cleveland Browns just looked like he said something to his wife. It looked like Justin Fields said something to Matt Nagy's wife, and Matt Nagy said, "Okay, all right, I'm gonna have the last laugh." But he who laughs first, last. And if Matt Nagy go out there and set him up again, your ass will be fired on Monday morning. That's how I feel on that one. And with that being said, I have the Lions beating the Chicago Bears. And with that being said, Matt Nagy will get his pink slips on Monday, and we will not see any more of Matt Nagy.
I agree that he's probably gone on Monday. I think depending on how they play, if they lose and it looks bad, he's gone on Monday. If they lose and it's close, they might give him another couple weeks. Maybe he lasts into the bye week at week 10. But because I don't think a lot of people, I think some people are expecting them to make playoffs, but I think in the organization, they're kind of realistic as far as when you got Andy Dalton and you're saying that's your guy. I don't know that you necessarily were really banking on making playoffs. So we'll have to wait and see on that as far as his fate. But I picked the Bears because of the defense, really, not because of the offense. They got the dead last offense in the league for a reason, because they don't seem to game plan at all. They don't know what they're doing on the offensive side of the ball. However, I counted the defense out a couple weeks ago, and then they came out and showed out. And this game, being at home, needing to bounce back after being embarrassed by the Cleveland Browns, I just expect that defense to come out and play out of this world. I expect that defense to come out and play to the full potential that they have. They are a playoff defense, and I expect them to show that against a Lions team coming into Chicago. It's nothing against the Lions. I think the Lions are still, trending in the right direction. They're ahead of what we thought they were going to be. But I just think that this defense is too good to allow the Lions to come into Chicago and beat them. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, you're hoping to see something from that offense that shows that they actually put a game plan together, because last week that was atrocious. It was embarrassing. I think that my 4-year-old daughter probably could have game planned for the Cleveland Browns a lot better than Matt Nagy did. And I mean, after you saw how many times they were getting to Justin Fields, you would expect some sort of adjustment. There was no adjustment made. It was just horrendous from start to finish. And you're hoping for something better. Like, honestly, that's all you're hoping for. If you're a Chicago fan, you're just hoping for something better. And I just don't think that you can have a performance like that a second week in a row. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bears, mainly because of their defense. But if the Lions win this game, trust me, X, this is one of those that I'm fully aware that I'll probably lose this pick, because with Matt Nagy as the coach, he's going to find a way.
It's funny you bring that up, because I was actually just going to piggyback and say Matt Nagy is actually 5-1 against the Detroit Lions in the Matt Nagy era. So this is a game that, when it comes to trends, we maybe expect Matt Nagy to beat the Lions. But when you have a head coach on the other side of the field that's out here biting off kneecaps, Mr. Dan Campbell, I do love the spirit of the Lions. I know they're on 3. I know we poke fun of the Lions and all that, but I seriously do love the spirit. I love the tenacity that the Lions play with. I do love what they're doing, and that's why I feel. And I said this last week, like Sunday after the Bears lost to the Browns, I said the Lions are going to beat the Bears next week, and I'm still holding on with it. That's my gut feeling, and it's going to be some shakeup around the NFL. This weekend is going to be crazy, bro. I'm telling you right now, this weekend is going to be crazy. Folks about to lose their job. and it's gonna be a lot of headlines around the NFL. So y'all get ready Monday morning. It's gonna be crazy, and there's gonna be there's gonna be another game right here where it's no headlines, but there's gonna be some headlines out here for the wrong reasons. And I'm gonna go ahead and start it off first for you, Mr. Glass, Mr. Sam Bradford 2.0, as you like to call him, Mr. Carson Wentz, sir. I don't know what you're trying to prove. I don't understand like you're just trying to show everybody that you're not soft. You're a tough guy. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna need you to just stay on the sideline for about a week or two. Get healthy, because the Colts need you for the long run. They don't need you for the Titans. They need you against the Dolphins. They need you for the long run if they want to make this playoff run. That's how I look at it. Because you coming back just within a week of having 2 sprained ankles ish. I sprained my ankle 2 weeks ago at work. And I was out for about 3 or 4 days. Okay, I had to rest up for a little bit. I had to ice up, son, as Steve Smith would say. So for you, Carson Wentz, to have 2 sprained ankles and then have the audacity to go out against Tennessee Titans and think that you were going to go out there and have a decent performance, which you didn't, and then now go out here and play against a pretty damn good Miami Dolphins defense. Look, Ish, I wasn't going to pick the Colts. I really was, because the Dolphins do not have Tua Tagovailoa. But the reason why I'm picking the Dolphins is because I think people forget about who's the Miami Dolphins quarterback now.
Jacoby
Brissett. And where did Jacoby Brissett play at before he went to Miami?
I mean, for a short stint, he played with
For a short stint, he went to the Colts. And like we just talked about with games prior to, like the Eagles and the Chiefs, there's going to be some animosity going on there, right? There's going to be a little bit of, so you're going to let me go? Okay, too easy. I'm going to show y'all. Because
he's going to show them exactly why they let him go.
You're correct. You might be correct on that one, because Jacoby didn't play well last week. But Jacoby going to play a lot better, I think, this week. On that bounce back game. They're at home under that Miami sunshine. And that's why I had to pick the Dolphins to win this game, Ish. I just feel like the Dolphins are too good on both sides of the ball to lose this game, even with a Tua Tagovailoa injury. And I think the Dolphins take this.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say. I picked the better of 2 bad teams. I think the Colts are a better team. They have a better defense. They don't have a better offense. They have better weapons, though, on offense. And at the quarterback position, as much as I like to make fun of Sam Bradford 2.0, he's better than Jacoby Brissett. So all that to say that I picked the better
with two sprained ankles, even with 2 sprained ankles.
Yeah, with 2 sprained ankles, he's better than Jacoby Brissett. So I picked the better of 2 bad options. That's all it is. The Colts should win this game. The Colts were at one point talked about potentially competing with the Titans for the AFC South. If you want any shot of even having a chance of doing that, then you need to respond, especially after seeing the way that Jacksonville played on Thursday. If I'm the Colts, I need to respond, because you may be looked at maybe last in your division. And that's with the Jags and the Texans. Maybe last. Y'all, I mean, I can't stress that enough. You need to win this game, so they're going to win this game.
In the words of Ish, if anybody wants a shot at buying any of our merchandise, go ahead and check in the comments section. I'll go ahead and drop that link for y'all. Go ahead and click on any of our merchandise, from shirts to hoodies. And also we have, of course, caps coming very, very soon. So if anybody wants a shot at buying our merchandise, go ahead and click that link in the comments section. Ish, I understand where you're coming from. I do respect it. I really do. I just feel like you're an Eagles fan at the moment. Like you low-key are an Eagles fan. You feeling like you back in 2017, 2018. Y'all right off this Carson Wentz high still. Like it's 3 years. Like look, it's 2021. Y'all got to get off this Carson Wentz crack pipe. Like I don't know what it is. Like y'all are high. Y'all are high off of the airness that y'all have seen of Carson Wentz. This is 3 years ago. Like y'all need to come back down to reality, as Eminem would say. Oh, there goes the gravity. Shout out to that halftime show we'll talk about later. But for me, I just don't see. I saw it in college with Carson Wentz, but in the NFL, the injuries have ravaged him. He is like a Walmart version of Andrew Luck, in my opinion.
He's Sam Bradford 2.0.
Andrew Luck. I'll go with Andrew Luck. All right, let's talk about a game real quick that I
There's nothing to
don't
say
really
here.
need to be talked about that much, to be completely honest. But I will say this: no, seriously though, seriously, this is one of those games where you need to seriously be on the lookout for, because if the Titans do not take care, I'm just stay with me. If the Titans don't take care of business, if they don't take care of business this week and look for next week's game, which is against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which we all know they're not really that good of a team. This could be a slip-up game. Ish, you shake your head, I got you. A.J. Brown is out. Julio Jones is out. Bud
don't
Dupree
care.
is out.
I
I
don't care
got
if the
you.
water
I'm just
boy is
letting
out.
everybody know who's out at the moment. So
Mike
this
Vrabel
game,
could be out.
you're getting on my nerves.
They could start
hate
Vince
you.
Young at quarterback.
I hate you. Anyways, the point is what I'm saying is that
Eddie
this
George
game
could
will
come
be
out
a
of
lot
retirement
closer.
and
Shut
be
your
the
ass up.
starting quarterback.
Shut your ass up. This is gonna be a lot closer than people think. Okay, I think the Titans win by like 5 points. This is not gonna be close. I mean, this is gonna be a lot closer than people expect. Yeah, because the Titans like to do that. These
5
type of things.
points?
The Titans like to do these types of things.
Oh,
Watch,
no.
okay? Watch. Don't believe me? Bruno Mars. Just watch. You'll see what happens. I know this team too damn well.
The Titans going to win this game. It's a
How-
wash.
by how many
14
points?
14.
Okay. And if they do, I hope so.
No,
I hope
I'll
so.
say 10. I'll give them 10.
I say 5. I say 5.
I'll give
Again,
'em 10.
I know how this damn team works. We ain't doing that today.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. Washington football team in the Atlanta Falcons. This kind of reminds me of last week when the Atlanta Falcons played the. I'm sorry, Washington football team played the what's it called last week? I'm sorry, my bad. I apologize. The Atlanta Falcons played the Giants. I apologize.
Yeah.
Yes, my bad.
Yeah.
Yes, when it comes to just being a toilet game, unfortunately, let's be real. After 3 weeks, we don't look at the Washington football team like we did coming into the season. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, I was never high on Fitzpatrick in the first place. I was never high on Fitzpatrick. I feel like Heineke should have started in the first place, and then have Fitzpatrick come and save you in the middle of the season for 3 or 4 games, and then let Heineke come in and finish all the rest of the season. That was my opinion.
I don't know that was your opinion, but okay.
Hey, I got you. With Fitzpatrick getting hurt already in week 1, I feel like that has let the air out of the balloon for that organization, thinking that, hey, maybe, not maybe, we should win the division this year because of our defense, and just all we got to do is just manage the football and offense. To now, everybody sees how good the Cowboys are, and now it's like, okay, we can't just rely on our defense to win us games. Like, our offense has to step up. So for this season, it's really an audition for Heineke to get the starting position. It's really on you, or do they move forward in another direction at the quarterback position? Because last year when he played against Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that wild card round, a lot of people were saying, oh man, he was able to play better than most quarterbacks against that Tampa Bay defense. Okay, that's because they didn't have a lot of film on him. Now that people have film on him, it's going to be very interesting to see what the Washington football team does with Taylor Heineke and this offense moving forward. I think they should win this game, but this is one of those games where now I'm looking at it, it's like, could the Falcons squeak this one out? Could they?
So it's interesting you said all of that in your soliloquy, because that's the misconception right now about this team. The misconception is that this offense is hindering this team, when in fact they have the second to last defense in the league. That defense was supposed to be a defense that everybody thought like, oh man, that defense is going to carry them to the promised land. That defense has not showed up. They have not showed up at all. They haven't helped that offense out at all. When you're talking about an offense that had Fitzmagic as quarterback, and then he gets hurt and you got Heineke at quarterback, you're expecting the defense to step up and say, hey, don't worry, little brother, we got you. We're going to carry you on our back. And they have not done that, which has resulted in this team being terrible. They will continue to be terrible until the defense steps up and does something. The only reason why I have them winning this game is because that Falcons offense is bad. The Falcons offense is just bad. They are not a good offense. They're not a good team. They don't put points up like that. And for that reason, I just expect, even going into Atlanta, for this team to win this game. You can't be like, I don't think this defense could have dropped that far. I just don't think they could have dropped that far. Yes, the stats right now have them second to last, but I think that they're still a better defense than the stats show. And I think that with Atlanta, they will be able to take advantage of just a slow, aging, not very talented Atlanta team and beat them. That's all it is for me. But it's not a game I want to watch, not a game I really care about. Let's move on.
No, this is one of those games where you get the tickets from McDonald's, where it's like, hey, get you a Happy Meal, get your free
Mm-hmm.
ticket to go to a Falcons game. Like that's what it is at the moment right now. And I definitely agree with everything that you just said, especially with the defense. You're correct. But besides the stats, like I talked about earlier in the show, I don't care about what's going on stats wise till week 6. But yes, the defense looks atrocious, and it is definitely not the strong point of the team as y'all wanted it to be last season going into this season. So they have a couple of issues in Washington that they have to figure out, because if they're trying to win the division, it's not looking good at the moment, because the Cowboys are at the moment looks like the team to beat. All right, go ahead and move on to a division that actually needs to be talked about. The NFC West, we'll talk about these two teams first. So the Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers, and then we'll get to, of course, Cardinals Rams very shortly. Ish. This game, I'm happy that we both split on this game, because that's how honestly I feel about this game. This game can go either way. As much as I do want to pick the 49ers, and I really did want to pick them, besides them being at home, just a better, I feel like sometimes they are a better overall team. But at the moment, just because of the injuries, I just felt like I had to take a step back. It seems like they've already lost. It seems like they're on that Ravens train, losing 4 running backs at the moment. And also as well, it looks like George Kittle might not be playing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest. Honestly, I feel like the biggest news besides the running backs is George Kittle not being available. And if that is the case, I feel like the Seahawks squeak out a slight victory against their divisional foes. And with this being a divisional game, you know how divisional games are. Just because you're at home doesn't always necessarily guarantee a victory. And I think the Seahawks swoop in and win a game in the Bay.
No, I definitely respect what you say as far as it being a 50-50 toss up. For me, San Francisco needs to bounce back at home. They lost a heartbreaker against the Packers at home. That was their first time playing at home in a long time. So, you get this follow up against a divisional rival. And it's a divisional rival that's defense is atrocious at the moment. This defense is a shadow of its former self. And I definitely think that no matter whether or not George Kittle plays, you still got Brandon Ayuk, you still got Debo Samuel. You should still be able to make some plays on the offensive side against a terrible defense that Seattle has. And I expect it to be a good game. I expected the points to be scored. I expect it to be maybe back and forth. But ultimately, being at home and needing to bounce back from that loss to the Packers, I just think the 49ers are going to win. I know that Seattle is definitely coming in here after losing pretty embarrassingly to the Minnesota Vikings, but I think 2 games on the road, it's a lot to deal with, a lot of emotions to deal with. I just don't think the bounce back is happening this week. I think you're going to lose another one on the road, unfortunately, and then you're going to have to go back and figure out what you're going to do in Seattle.
The rebuttal I'll have to that, honestly, is, I mean, everything that you're saying is correct, but the team to be able to do that, and with the quarterback and the head coach, is this team, the Seattle Seahawks, with a Russell Wilson, a proven quarterback, with Russell Wilson being able to, of course, go into hostile territory and win games, and a coach like a Pete Carroll that has the cojones to be able to make play calls besides running the ball, in the Super Bowl, to be able to make certain play calls to, win games. And I'll just throw out this quick stat. Russell Wilson is 15-4 in his career against the 49ers, and that is including playoffs as well. That's the most wins against any opponent that he has at the
Well,
moment.
go ahead and add another loss to that one.
Well, That's why they say all the time we should have to wait and see, of course. All righty, then I'm excited about that game. I'm definitely am excited about this game. Ish, man, this the battle of the heavyweights in the NFC West at the moment. A team will take an L unless they take a tie. Who knows? We have to wait and see, of course, on that one. But most likely a team will have to take an L today. And Ish, I'm gonna let you start off with this one, and I'll piggyback on what you have to say.
I went back and forth for a long time on this one, and I kind of wanted to pick Cliff and the boys from Arizona, especially because that offense has just looked amazing. The defense is playing pretty solid at the moment, but and not to mention LA's coming off a big win where emotions were high. I think a lot of people build that game up to be a preview of the NFC Championship game. And ultimately, that can result in you overlooking your next opponent and your next opponent coming in and, shocking you. Uh, but I think that this team realizes that they have to, if they want to be the team that people want them to be, people expect them to be the team that just beat the Buccaneers and now people are calling them the favorites in the NFC. You gotta win a game like this. Like, this is the kind of game that you gotta win. You gotta respond. You can't have a letdown. You know that Arizona's coming in looking to defeat you at home. And for all those reasons, I just think the Rams are going to find a way to win this game. I expect it to be a good game. I expect it to be a close game. I expect it to be just everything you want from one of these like playoff divisional games, right? But I just think the Rams are going to find a way to get out of it. I think playing at home is a big factor. If they had gone on the road and beat Tampa Bay and then like everybody had that big, emotional high and they had to come back home and then possibly go on the road again, then maybe I could see it. Or if they were going on the road after beating them at home, I could see it. But being at home is going to really help them stay level-headed and win this again.
Well, like I said before, you started off with your soliloquy. You left off perfectly for me to rebuttal off of everything that you said. I agree with everything that you're coming from, especially when it comes to. We talked about it last week on the recap show with the Rams being the best team in the NFL at the moment. And if they are the best team in the NFL at the moment, this is a team you have to take care of. You just took care of the defending Super Bowl champs, a big game, and this is another big game. Even though the Cardinals are not up there with the Bucks when it comes to prestige wise, they're they're on the lookout when it comes to maybe this is the year that they take their step, right? And for the Rams, if you lose this game, is the season over or the division over? No, it's not that. But it puts haters in their place to say, damn, you know what? Maybe the Rams are pretty good. But here's the thing, and I need everybody to pay very, very close attention. They play tonight, of course, against the Cardinals. Thursday night, they play another divisional matchup. They're going to play on Thursday night football against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. I'm going to call it right now. I think the Rams win this game, but I think they lose against Seattle in Seattle on Thursday. I just think with all the games back to back like that, I think it is going to have a little wear and tear on them. And I think that they will take their first loss against Seattle on Thursday. I'll have to wait and see how this game goes and how it plays out. If they blow the Cardinals out or something like that, then I'll definitely maybe change my pick. But I agree with you, Rams. I agree with you. I think the Rams win this game by 4, very close, pull it out, and we will see the Cardinals with their first L of this season. All right, let's go ahead and move on to another quarterback matchup. The Steelers and the Packers. Unfortunately, we won't see prime Big Ben, but we'll see for the most part prime Aaron Rodgers. This is their first matchup since Super Bowl 45 as well. So I thought that was pretty cool to see. Ish that hey, they haven't played in a while. So at the moment, of course, it looks like Ish and I have the Packers. I guess I'll go off. I'll go first and talk about this game. Like Ish is not very excited for this game, so
there's nothing exciting about this game.
Well, I mean, there is. I mean, look.
No,
even though
the Steelers going into Green Bay to play Green Bay, and
I'm trying to hype up the game, and you over here messing up my game.
No, there's nothing exciting. They need to figure out what they're doing with Big Ben over there because he looks like I don't even know what he looked like. He looked
I ain't
like
never
a
seen anybody. I ain't
broke
never seen
down
anybody
nigga.
sack themselves though. I ain't never seen that before. That was a new one. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was some video game stuff when I saw Big Ben. I'm like, what are you
Um,
doing? You all right? You falling and stuff?
no, he's not. He's clearly not all right. I think he is an example of somebody that played a little too long.
Oh yeah, yeah,
A little too long. He should have. I know the new trend is, oh, I can play until I'm 50, right? I want to be Peyton Manning. I want to be Tom Brady. No, not everybody can do it, and this is an
yeah. And
example
this
of
and
not
this is one
everybody can do it.
of
It's not a good game. It's not a good game. Like, I'm not even gonna hype it up. It's not a good game. The Packers should wash them. The
how much?
Packers
How
should
much?
wash them
How much?
in Green Bay.
How much?
They should beat them. They have a somewhat of a defense, but because that offense can't score jack anything, I think the Packers should beat them by 3 scores.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord, my chest. T.J. Watt is playing this game though. I will say that.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just
It
saying.
does not matter.
I ain't
This
gonna be. I
team
ain't gonna
is
be that
bad.
disrespectful. I'm gonna go about 10 points. I think the Packers win by 10. You being disrespectful.
Bro, they just lost to the Bengals by 2 scores.
The
They
Bengals
lost to
are
the Bengals
the
by 2 scores at
Bengals
home.
are a young, up and coming, rough and tough team.
Oh man, at
I know.
home they
I
lost
know.
by
I
two
was.
scores.
I
Oh,
know.
they
I
should
know.
lose by 3 on the
Yeah,
road.
that was disrespectful. I still don't understand how the Bengals did that. But nah, I don't think they lose by 3. I think it'll be a closer game. They're gonna come with some pride. Big Ben's gonna play pretty decent. You know, you're gonna see the shine. You're gonna see the sparkles of Big Ben that we see in the past, but it's not gonna be enough. That's just my opinion. We'll see. All right, let's move on to a better game. It might look ugly. Just the name Ravens Broncos might look ugly, but surprisingly, I think this is gonna be one of them games where people look at it and be like, you know what, this game is a lot better than I thought it was, just due to both sides of the ball, offense, defense, of course, for the Broncos defense facing against that Ravens offense. And I'll let you go first. Let you tell the folks how you
Yeah,
feel
I'm
about it.
excited about this game because you got the Ravens, who everybody knows they have that run attack that is a really good run attack. Number one Russian offense in the league versus the number one Russian defense in the league, or number two Russian defense in the league. Number two defense total in the league. Number one in points against. So this defense against this offense is really what I'm excited about, because I want to see, are the Ravens real? Are the Broncos real? This is the game that tells us whether or not the Broncos are actually real, because they haven't played anyone up until this point. They've played teams with a combined record of 0-9. So they haven't played a team that you could really say, okay, well, yeah, that was a really good win. So I think, based on my pick, I think that the Broncos are actually real. That defense I know is real. I know the defense is real. Teddy Two Gloves is gonna have to show me something. This is my make or break with Teddy Two Gloves. If Teddy Two Gloves is actually that guy, they're gonna win this game like I expect them to, and then we're gonna start taking them a little more seriously. If he's not that guy, at home against the Ravens, you somehow find a way to lose this game, then you Teddy 2 yards, like I thought all along. So I'm waiting to see how they do. They have that big advantage, of course, a mile high. You got teams coming in to play at that altitude. That should hurt the Ravens a little bit. A limited team, although they got Le'Veon Bell coming in now. So now they got a total of maybe 4 or 5 running backs that they're going to run. So expect it to look like a triple option game from the Baltimore Ravens. But yeah, this is all about the Broncos and whether or not they're a real team.
I know that the defense is real. We just don't know about the offense just yet. And I think this
Exactly.
is a team. I mean, I think this is a game that I think it can help maybe casual fans maybe take the Broncos a little bit more seriously, because if you look, and you talked about this with I forgot who we talked about earlier in the game when it comes to the Panthers. I apologize. When it comes to the teams that they've beaten, you didn't really take them seriously. You can kind of say the same thing about the Broncos as well. You know, some of the teams that they've beaten, of course, are over at the moment, and
All of the teams.
yes, so it's one of those things where a lot of people don't really respect what the Broncos have done, but all you can do is play the teams that are in front of you.
That's
And I
true.
think this is a very important game for the Broncos and Teddy Two Gloves to show everybody that, hey, you know, we are real. The reason why I'm picking the Ravens, though, is because I just feel like Lamar Jackson just finds a way. I mean, seriously, like shout out to what he's been able to do this season. Probably could have won Week 1 against the Las Vegas Raiders and be undefeated at this moment, but
Probably should have won.
probably could have lost last week against the Lions and made a hell of a throw to set up the offense to kick one of the greatest kicks we'll probably ever see in our life, right? And I just think with that type of momentum, I think it carries over into Denver, like you said, Ish, with that real home field advantage with that altitude. The altitude is real. That is nothing to play with. I've been to Denver. It is real. And I just feel like with the Ravens, I think they're going to slice up this defense, Broncos defense, and I'm interested to see what Le'Veon Bell does do with this offense. Check out Le'Veon Bell. He will be wearing number 17 today. I've seen some pictures of him in practice. It's very awkward to see him wearing 17, but hey, this is just where we are at the moment. Before we head on to our last topic of the day, let's remind everybody this is the battle of the Louisville quarterbacks, Teddy Bridgewater and also Lamar Jackson. For my people that's out there tuning in, can y'all also name another quarterback that went to Louisville? Ish, can you? One of the most famous quarterbacks in NFL history?
Are you talking about
I don't know. What am I talking about? Man. Come on.
Why is this escaping me?
Peyton Manning's favorite quarterback.
Man, I hate that you just.
It's all good. We're going to move forward. We're going to go with Johnny Unitas.
Oh, my gosh.
Johnny Unitas. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and talk about the game of the week.
It's not the game of the week. It's not the game of anything.
Oh, it's the game of the week, damn it. Okay. It's
I'm
Tom Brady. Return to New England. Okay, I'm sorry. I got to hype it up. I got to do my my TV voice and stuff. Will Tom Brady and the 7 rings come back to show Bill Belichick what he's missed out on? Or will Belichick show the student that he always has been and always will be the master?
I hate that this game is on Sunday Night Football.
I love that this game is on Sunday night. I love it, Ish. Build it up, because when Tom Brady comes in there and drops 5 touchdowns like he's outcast and dropping bombs over Baghdad, I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Thank you,
All right,
NFL announcer, NFL Films,
I'm sorry,
whatever that was.
I had to. It was
Thank you, but we all know what the outcome of this game is. The Buccaneers are going to win the game. There you go. That's my hot take.
Damn, I ain't going to hype it up. Not one bit.
Nope.
All right, for everybody out there, I will do it. The GOAT against the Billy Goat. Thomas Brady versus
the Billy Goat.
Belichick. Who will reign supreme on the mountaintop?
Tom Brady.
Who will do it? Will Bill Belichick suit up for the Patriots and maybe play defensive end and get him a lick on Tom Brady? Will he do that? I'm going too far. No, but seriously though, the Patriots probably, they just don't have the arsenal right now at the moment.
Nope.
And I will say this, no, on a serious note, the only reason why the Patriots even have a chance is if Bill Belichick draws up the perfect defensive scheme, as in rushing, of course, the A and B gaps, making sure you get Brady off his spots, manning up on the receivers, making sure that they don't get anything easy, bend, don't break defense. That's the only way you're going to be able to stay even in the game.
It's the offense, though. It's the offense. The defense, I expect the defense to play well for the Patriots. The offense isn't there. There's just no offense to even compete with them. So even if the defense is able to hold them to 17 points, your offense is not going to score 17.
But look, Brady, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. We gonna be on for a while. Another minute. I'm about to get up out of here for this morning. I expect Tom Brady to go out there and throw 50 piece, wing stop, half lemon pepper, half hot, for that ass on Bill Belichick, because he going out there, he going to slit throats. He ain't going out there, oh yeah, this is a cute moment. Oh, I love you, Bill. I love you, Patriots. I love you, fan. No, he about to slit throats.
I agree. It's personal for him, but
100.
I don't know 100. That he's gonna put up a 50 piece.
50. Rick Ross, it ain't Wingstop, it's Thigh Stop now. It's about to.
Oh wow.
It's delicious, all right? Delicious, nutritious, and we getting all of that.
On that note, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yes, sir. We about to eat a W, as Jameis would say.
No, we're definitely not eating.
All righty then. With that being said, of course, as always, please make sure you go ahead and like and share this broadcast. Thank y'all for tuning in to Week 4 preview of the NFL season. Tune in tomorrow for Monday night halftime show. Of course, the Chargers and Raiders. And then, of course, tune in on Tuesday night for our post-game show when we recap Week 4. I will see you tomorrow, and I'm about to go